Deadpool's best love interests, ranked. Deadpool really gets around, but some of his love interests are better off as flings while others could have really been the one. Deadpool is one of the most popular anti-heroes to come from Marvel Comics. The Merc with a mouth has found himself on the hero side and opposed to Marvel's heroes many times. While playing hero or anti-hero, Deadpool has had many love interests over the years, despite his violent profession and grotesque physical features. His romantic encounters range from passionate and loving to setups for betrayal, yet they all give an interesting view to the mercenary's love life. Ellie was an army pilot originally from Germany. She had exiled herself to a remote cabin after a plane she was piloting crashed, resulting in the deaths of 200 passengers. While resistant to Deadpool's romantic advances, Ellie helped Wade after he stumbled into her home. Ellie became Deadpool's personal pilot, taking him wherever he needed to go for his mercenary jobs. In a horrific development, Deadpool's nemesis T-Ray condemned Ellie to keep reliving the traumatic plane crash after she intervened with his sinister scheme. Luckily, Ellie was eventually released from this living nightmare, free to continue her life. During Deadpool number 17, a short story by Brian Posehn and Scott Koblish depicted Wade nearly getting married to Ms. Marvel. Before adopting the Captain Marvel moniker, Ms. Marvel teamed up with Deadpool to fight some mind-controlling aliens reminiscent of the Facehuggers. Deadpool and Ms. Marvel quickly bonded after that. While they were both tipsy, they decided to tie the knot in Las Vegas. However, Captain America interrupted the proceedings and found that there was a mind-controlling alien secretly influencing Ms. Marvel. Her ceremony with Wade came to an abrupt halt, and the two of them went their separate ways. Carmelita and the Merc with the Mouth had a brief fling in a 70s flashback issue that took place during Brian Posehn and Jerry Duggan's joint Deadpool run. Carmelita later visited Wade with her infant child, Eleanor, and told him he was the girl's father. In a moment of self-loathing, Deadpool turned them away, saying that they were better off without him. In the present, a Weapon X scientist called Butler kidnapped Carmelita as part of his plans to blackmail Deadpool. But by the time Deadpool found Carmelita, she had been brutally killed. Deadpool and Orsa met in the most unexpected way, crossing paths after Wade defeated her bounty hunter husband in battle. To placate the enraged Orsa, Deadpool kissed her, and the pair almost instantly got married. Little did Deadpool know that Orsa's co-worker, Ob, was deeply in love with her. Ob made a few attempts to take out Deadpool, but ultimately failed. Wade let Ob off the hook upon realizing his romantic motivations. In the end, Orsa came to the realization that she had feelings for Ob. Deadpool consequently divorced Orsa and returned to Earth. Deadpool met a tattoo artist named Anastasia since she was a contact for an assassination of mobsters that Deadpool was doing for the police. Deadpool fell for her, and it was all the better for him when she seemed to be rather into his grotesque physique. In the end, Anastasia was simply playing Wade. She wanted the talented mercenary to help her cash in on her mobster boyfriend's life insurance. Anastasia was adamant that she hadn't been using him from the beginning, but Deadpool didn't believe her. He took the gun she offered him and shot her. Satana Hellstrom, daughter of Satan, lost a bet and was to marry one of a group of demons in their human form. Deadpool decided that a loophole for that unfortunate situation was to marry her instead. One of the demons decided to kill Deadpool to get him out of the way so he could marry Satana. That wouldn't be the case, however, since Satana strengthened Deadpool to defeat him. Unfortunately for the Merc with a Mouth, Satana stole half of Deadpool's soul and left him, annulling the marriage. Hopefully, Deadpool learned that the children of Satan aren't trustworthy. Deadpool had a brief romantic fling with Natasha Romanoff while she was disguised as Yelena Belova. Deadpool met her when fighting the Thunderbolts and started flirting with her. She wasn't a fan of his antics, yet he grew on her. During a fight between the two, she grabbed him and they kissed. At one point, Black Widow reattached Deadpool's head after he had been beheaded. Unfortunately for him, this romance never really got going because Black Widow never wanted it to get any deeper. When the mercenary ran into Black Widow afterward, she greeted his advances with a punch in the face. The X-Men member Rogue and Deadpool had a brief fling when they were part of the Avengers Unity team, formed by Captain America. After the team defeated Red Skull, following Rogue beating Deadpool as close to death as he had been in a long time, she kissed him. When they kissed, she absorbed his unpleasant physical features, but she didn't mind the change. This fling never went anywhere, but Deadpool was accepted without his mask. Someone actually chose to live with his unflattering skin on their face, making the mercenary feel accepted and loved, something he's not used to. This genuine and accepting notion makes Rogue and Wade's otherwise very brief fling rather significant. Mercedes Wilson was the wife of Wade Wilson until things got very confusing. Mercedes and Wade took a man in and nursed him to health after they found him in a vulnerable position. The man, T-Ray, later killed Mercedes. T-Ray claimed he was the real Wade Wilson. It's unclear whether T-Ray was telling the truth or not. Which man was her husband and which killed her is up for debate. Later, T-Ray resurrected Mercedes for the petty reason of messing with Deadpool. Mercedes made sure Deadpool knew she wanted nothing to do with him again. She left with T-Ray, leaving Deadpool behind. Outlaw is a mutant with super strength. As a mercenary, she fell for Agent X until he cheated on her. Later, Deadpool flirted with Outlaw quite a bit. Unfortunately, he brought trouble to her apartment, causing it to be destroyed. To make up for this, the talkative mercenary spent a lot of money on fixing her living situation. Outlaw thanked him by sleeping with him, and sooner or later, this led to matrimony. Deadpool should have heeded the warnings about her super strength, however, as he suffered painful injuries when consummating the marriage. Eventually, their marriage was annulled after the painful honeymoon. Valentine Vong introduced in Alyssa Wong's current Deadpool run. Valentine Vong is a fabulous addition to the Merc with the Mouth's mythos. Valentine is a non-binary assassin who Deadpool first met when the Atelier Guild hired them to assassinate Dr. Octopus. Deadpool fell head over heels for Valentine straight away, and their chemistry became apparent throughout the series. At first, Valentine admitted that they were only planning on using Wade to take control of the Atelier. But Valentine had developed real feelings for Deadpool, and the pair officially became a couple in the pages of Deadpool number 5 by Alyssa Wong, Martin Coccolo, Neeraj Menon, and VC's Joe Sabino. Wade and Valentine shared a passionate kiss after a climactic battle featuring Harrower, Otto Octavius, and Lady Deathstrike. Siren was the daughter of Banshee and a member of X-Force. Deadpool was enamored with her and would watch her sleep. Surprisingly enough, she felt comforted to have him watch over her. Most women wouldn't. Siren became more romantically interested in Deadpool when he acted more heroic. However, it wouldn't last. Typhoid Mary disguised herself as Siren and slept with Deadpool. Siren herself also slept with Deadpool, but not to re-establish a romantic connection. She only did so to distract herself from the pain of losing her baby. Who better for the mercenary who can't die to fall in love within death herself? Because of several near-death experiences, Deadpool formed a relationship with Death, who had fallen for him as well. Deadpool wanted to die to further his romantic relationship with Death. Deadpool and Death's relationship was serious and strong until Thanos got involved. The Mad Titan himself was madly in love with Death, but she always favored Deadpool over him. In retaliation, Thanos cursed Deadpool with immortality to keep him away from Death. Vanessa Carlyle, also known as Copycat, is one of the most well-known love interests Deadpool's had. This is thanks to Vanessa being the primary love interest in the hit films starring the Merc with a mouth. However, the movies don't reveal that she's a shapeshifter and depict her instead as a normal human. Copycat and Wade Wilson were together when he was diagnosed with cancer and became Deadpool. She would then leave him for Garrison Kane. Copycat returned, but used her powers to take the form of Wade's other lovers to torment him in the years to come. In contrast, Vanessa in the Deadpool films loved Wade before and after the experiments that scarred his whole body. Deadpool is the only character who would steal away Dracula's bride-to-be. For context, Dracula hired the Merc with a mouth to bring Shiva to him. However, they fell for each other on the way back to Dracula's place. Shiva was supposed to be marrying Dracula to unite his vampires with her monster race, but she fell in love with Deadpool. Eventually, it was all too much for Shiva. In a tragic twist, she left Deadpool and went back to the original plan, which was marrying Dracula. Who do you think is the most important woman in Deadpool's life? Let us know in the comments.